and welcome back. This is my channel, Engineer YouTuber, or you can call Gaurav Chodia. Now, so I have prepared one interview video on Tiger Analytics and all the rounds mentioned over there. But a lot of people have a lot of questions. So someone asked, I went through the first round of interview and how to prepare. Then I'm a fresher. I just declare and the online asset clear the online assessment. Now they have scheduled a virtual coding round. My skill set is Java development. Will they ask me a code in Python? Do you need to speak in the coding round or just like online assessment? Please help. There are a lot of questions people are asking. So I have prepared one slide or the whole experience of the different interviews, the process, how many time take, what are the interview rounds, how many interview rounds are there, what is the time taken for each interview round, and also the questions. I have not able to I cannot take all the questions, but I have taken the questions which give you the idea what kind of questions you will be asked for the each session. Now, this is my LinkedIn profile, Gaurav Chodia. You can follow me here. So if you want any further discussion or you want to contact me for mentorship, you can do that. I do provide that. And let's discuss this Tiger Analytics interview questions. So first thing first, what are the rounds? What are the profile and how many rounds are there? So you can see that. So there's a trainee analyst, trainee analyst, data analyst role. There are 4 rounds. For data science, there will be a 5 or 4 round. As the fifth round will be the additional round will be the client round, and for also senior round there will be a 5 to 6 round. But particularly there will be a 4 round which you have to face. Okay, and the difficulty ratings I have mentioned, it is taken from Glassdoor, that which one is hard, which one is easy to crack. But as a fresher, you you have to give the aptitude or reasoning test. There will be a 20 questions on logic, quantitative analysis. In the section B, you have computer science, fundamental, oops, complexity analysis, basic algorithm. Section 3 or section C will be coding round, DSA. The time is divided over there, but how you manage the time is depend on you. They have given the time of 60 minutes or 90 minutes, but you have to utilize your time as per the question complexity. Okay, and then the 3 to 4 coding problems from the lead code. You can go create your lead code account and try as much as coding rounds over there. If you are planning into the Java as your core language, then be ready with the Java answer, because they give you the platform where you can choose the language like Java, Python, or whatever the language you choose over there, that you can perform that coding round into that section. Now the second round will be the technical round, and every single round is similar to the for each profile. You can see that, but there will be a difference. As the senior analyst, there will be a MCQ and the assessment theoretical knowledge, that will be the AI which asks the questions, and the subsequent questions will be asked by the AI tool. Okay, and the second round will be the technical interview, which is going to be 60 minutes approximately. That depends on how well you have performed and how how many interview questions you are able to answer over there. And depend on that, you will get the call for the third round. This is the second technical interview round, and it is again a 30 to 60 minute of round, depend on the panelist who is going to take your interview. So be prepared for that. The second technical round mostly on the project discussion, the logical based problem. They will give the hypothetical problem statement, and they want you to give the answer on those problem statement. There may be a coding question, one or more SQL question, depend on the profile again. So as I mentioned, and the fourth round will be the HR round for each and every profile. In HR round, mostly the you need to introduce yourself. If you are a fresher, why Tiger Analytics? That is the most asked question. Project detail, if you have done the project, then the culture fit, family background, location flexibility. If that profile is a pan India, okay. And for data scientist role, the more focus in the technical round will be on the core Python skill. They will try to ask you a code. They will ask you to write down the code. They will give the problem statement, and they want you to face that. They want you to write the code for that. Then the ML fundamentals, supervised, unsupervised learning, model evaluation matrix, problem solving. That is the, like, you should be answer all those questions. You should have uh, that answers ready with you. Then the predictive model, time series, cross validation, and many more things we'll discuss later. But again, in the if you see, all of these have the same structure: round one, round two, round three, round four. These are the four round which is mandatory, and depend on the client round, there will be a additional round. So we'll go further and see. For the fresher, if you want to skip that, you can skip. I'll put it a timestamp that you can directly jump to the data science role or the related question or the senior analyst role. I have given the timestamp in the video. You can directly skip this session and go to the next session. So if you are a fresher and you are applied for Tiger Analytics, the aptitude and logical puzzle, you have several logical questions will be asked. I have not taken the all of them. I have taken the several of them. You can go and perform all these aptitude questions online. They are available over there. You can just go perform those or try to, because aptitude and logical puzzle are like what is your thinking, how the thinking process work, and that thinking gives the answer. Maybe these questions I'm able to solve in the 7th step, you may solve it into the 3 or 4 step. That depend on the thinking process, how you solve it. So you have a 3-liter jug and a 5-liter jug. How you measure exactly 5 liter of water? The first step will be, so I have just created a simple HTML page that will try to visualize all of this. So the first step is fill the 5-liter jug. So we have a 3-liter, we'll fill the 5-liter jug. And after that, what we'll do, we'll just pour the water from 5-liter jug into the 3-liter jug until the 3-liter jug is full. So 5-liter jug will be remain with the 2-liter, right? The next step will be, so what we have done, pour all the water from the 3 jug, so it will be empty, and we keep the 2 liters safe in the 5 liter. So in the 5-liter jug, we have only 2-liter water, and the 3-liter jug is empty now. This is the third step. Now, what we have done, pour the 2-liter from the 3-liter jug into the empty 3-liter. So we have whatever the water we have into the 5-liter, we have pour into the 3-liter jug. Now in the 3-liter jug, we have 2 liter of water. This fill the 3-liter jug will be filled with a 2-liter. Now the fifth step is fill the 5-liter jug completely from the tap. So we have again the fill the water into the 5-liter jug, and the now what we have done, pour a 3-liter jug into 2-liter. So pour from 5-liter jug into the 3-liter jug. 3-liter jug had a 2-liter water and has 1 liter of space. So pour it into the, so when we have uh, uh, whatever we have in the 5-liter is total 5 liter of water in the 5-liter jug, and in 3-liter we have a 2-liter. So if I take 1 liter or whatever the water from the 5-liter and pour it into the 3-liter, it will be 3-liter, and in the 5-liter jug we have the 4-liter. So this is how you solve the puzzle. So as I mentioned, the number of steps is depend on you, how you solve it. Okay. Now next question is ranking and height logic. Before that, I want you, so the aptitude logic, uh, aptitude and logical puzzle. We have completed the first question. So second question is ranking and height logic. So V is taller than R, but shorter than J. S is shorter. S is shortest. D is taller than S, but shorter than R, who is the tallest. So given in the question, we have the answer. So V is greater than R, means taller than R, and V is less than or shorter than J. So J is bigger than V, and R is lesser than R. Okay, now the S is shortest. So S will be the lowest one. D is taller than S. So after S, there will be D, there will be R, then there will be V and J. So we got to know that J is the tallest. Now, number-based conversion puzzle. Convert the number from one base to another base. It could be a octal, decile, or hexagonal. So you are converted to not hexagonal but 16 base. So you are converting from octal to decile or 16 base to 10 decile. So the conversion, you have given the number and they have given the base and they want to convert that into decile or whatever the base they want to convert. So they have mentioned over there. So here the example is 755 and it is in octal. So whenever we do the conversion, if it is an octal, then we multiply that with 8. 8 degree of 0, 8 degree of 1, 8 degree of 2, as we have a 3 number. If we have 4 5 number, then 8 raised to 3 cube s raised to 4, and whatever the number we will multiply with that. So basically do the mathematical equation, solve that, and you'll get the you are able to convert that into the decile. Now triangle counting problem. This kind of problem will be asked in the aptitude and logical question, so you should follow such a question. You can get to the lead code or any of the uh, like there are platform, you can go and search the logical and aptitude question. So how many triangle can be formed? Those vertical are the vertex to the vertex of an octagon but have only one side common with that of the octagon. So such a kind of question will ask in the aptitude logical question. Now computer science fundamental questions: what is the big O complexity for the different sorting algorithm? So if you went through the sorting algorithm, you should know that there are sorting algorithm like merge sort, quick sort, bubble sort, and there uh, how are they good with solving the problem. So all the cases based was, and the average, you can use the merge sort. For average time taken or the complexity, we use the quick sort, and bubble sort is the worst one to the complexity. Difference between the array and the list: array is a random access, where linked list is a random access again, but then the complexity is the difference when we talk about. Then the insertion and deletion in the middle. Insertion and deletion, if position known, means हमें position पता है कहाँ पे exact value insert करनी है और delete करनी है, then and then only we can use the linked list. And one of the feature, space is equal to contiguous memory, and space is non-contiguous or uh, more flexible. Now the next is explain the inheritance and given an exam. So we have given the class called animal, we have written that, and that class is like speak something. We have defined the function called speak, and we have written the some sound. So now I call create a class as a dog, then I call the animal as a inheritance of the dog, and the function I have written is speak, and the speak is nothing but the bark. So when I call the object called dog, it and object dot speak, the method is used, you'll get the bark as a sound. Okay. Now next is reverse an array. So reverse an array is a Python coding round. You should know how to solve this kind of question. These are the important question which is asked in first and second round, mostly for the fresher, someone who is experienced as well. But it limited to the some company may have a different approach or different hard level of Python coding. But this is the start. You can start from here. So reverse the array. So you have given the array and they want you to reverse that. So if you run that and if you give the array 1 2 3 4 4, so whatever the array you have given, it will be reverse that. So it should be run, because I don't know it is connected or not. It is connecting. Let's wait for that. Once it connect, it will go and reverse that array I have provided. So you can see that if I give the array now, if I add one number over here as 5, so it should start from 5 4 3 2 1. Now what is palindrome? Palindrome number or the string is nothing but, here I'm giving the integer value, you can use the string as well, the string which is similar when we reverse that. So whatever the number or whatever the object I'm providing, it should be as equal to the original as when I do the reverse of that. So I have given the three type of coding which can be asked. I mean, the interviewer can ask you to write a code in this manner. So he want you write in the different manner. He want you write on the different approach to be used. So you are able to write that. Okay. So I have used the first one, and I've given the integer value in the string format. So if you can see 1413, if you know what is palindrome, palindrome is nothing but 14113 is equal to, if it is not equal to, actually it is not equal to, if I reverse that, it will be like 1 3 no, sorry, 3, it will become 3141. So it is not similar to the value I want. If I provide a simple one, it is a similar, and it will give the true value. So palindrome, if you understand what I'm trying to say, so simple palindrome, we are just reversing that string and just identifying it is equal to the original string. If it is a palindrome number or palindrome string. Now count out the frequency or the number of letter. So I have given the input called frequency, and in the frequency I have to count the number of character which is repeated in that input. So here you have the function written letter frequency, and you have provided a string. Now you have created one dictionary called fic, and after that you have passed all the string and one by one character. Now you are checking is that character is present in the frequency dictionary. If it is not, then we'll just plus that character and give the frequency is equal to 1. If it is there, then we'll add 1 to that 1, and it will become the 2, or whatever the number. If it is a 2, it will become a 3. So same. And if they the interview is saying you can use the any predefined module or library, then you can just use from collection import the counter, and you can just write counter.s. You will get the counters of the same string, and just convert that into the dictionary. So you'll get the same value. So you can see I'm providing the programming, and it will give the count, so number of count. Then the find the missing number. So missing number is nothing but, you have given the array or the list, and you want to find the missing value in that array. So I have given 0 1 2, not the 3 4 5. So output is 3, because there is no 3 in the other array. So you want to find out that missing value. So you take the length of the array, then this equation gives the expected sum, and this gives the actual sum. So actual sum is nothing but the actual sum of the array. So for 5 plus 4 9, 9 plus 2 is equal to 11 and is 12, and the expected sum is 6. The number of character or the number we have length is 5. 5 into 6, because I'm multiplying 30 divided by 2, we are getting the 15. 15 minus 12 is equal to 3, so we get the 3 value. So you can see that. Okay, now SQL and database questions. So the question related to SQL and database, you have given the statement and they want you to explain the statement, what are the explained and what they are doing. So here select, where, order by, group by and join is given. These are the function, or these are the command, or the some are window functions, some are the functions which use to write the query, to execute the query. Select, if you want to retrieve the data, you use the select and give the column name and from the table you are extracting. So here select name salary from the table called employee. So you'll retrieve the name and salary from the employee. Now you want to use the filter. You want to filter out the department where department is equal to sale. So you have written the select star means all the column from the employees where department is equal to sales. So you are filtering out. After that, you want to sort from descending ascending order. You can sort by using the order by salary in the descending order, because it by default it is in ascending order. If you want that to be in the descending order, you need to write that into descending. Then the group by, you want to aggregate the data. Select department, then the count as a count from whole number of count from employee and group by the department. So you'll get then the join. You can join the different department together. You can join the inner query. You can write the two table to join together. So you can write there are different types of join. We'll learn later, because one of the questions related to that. But you have to go through all the basic. You have to cover all the function, all the Windows function, what are the command, have, join, and you have to learn those. So you'll get the ask question on such a thing. So you have given the second highest salary by department. This type of question are very important, because they know you can write the query, but they want to know that uh, how optimize you can write the query. So to write the optimize and to simplify that, you can give the both the answer, one the simplified one and one that optimize and can be work in any kind of data that you have provided. Okay, here you can see you have given the employee table where you have the id as an unique value, the name as an unique value, there is a department, and there is a salary. So they want you to get the second highest salary. Now to get the second highest salary, select department and name. Then what we have written, so first you should not read this, you should read the inner query. What is the inner query? Select department name salary. So you have taken the all of them, then the dense rank over partition by department, because we want a department wise second highest salary. So department order by salary in the descending order. So it will give the highest salary, then the second highest salary, then the lowest salary will be at the bottom. So you'll get the highest salary, second highest salary. Now as a rank from the employee, and we have given the inner query as a rank, where rank is equal to 2. So you will get the second highest salary. So second highest salary will be as per the department ID is 72,000. Okay. Now different types of joins. So you have given there will be two table you have given, and they want you to understand. They actually want to understand how you are known to the different joins. So there are inner join, left join, right join, self join, left outer join, right outer joint, and outer join. So they want you to know that how you are understanding about the joining, because join is the basic fundamental about the writing a query when you want to join the two table together. So so I'll just explain the inner join. I'm not going to get into the right join, left join, but the statement will be the same, but the joins are different. So when we talk about the inner join, so you have given the two table. So inner join is the common between the two table. So whatever the common between the two table will get by this. When we talk about the left join, you will get the left side of data as well as the common data from the both the table. So this type of understanding you should know. And what so you have given the one table, and they want you to write down just not the query but the output of the left join, self join, inner join. So you should understand the functionality of the join and write down. So when we talk about the join, so we take the select, then the um, uh, column name from the employee or the table you have, first table, then the inner join, second table, on which column you want to apply that. So there should be a common column between both of the table that you have to write. Okay, and written only the matching row, right? So here Alice and Bob is the uh, mm, will be written when we perform the inner join. Now there are cell join, as I mentioned. Now basic ML concept. What is the supervised and unsupervised? Supervised and unsupervised is the basic difference between them. Is supervised the label data, when you have an input plus output, that you know that this is the output. That means you have the supervised data. Unsupervised is the unlabeled data. You have only input and you don't know what is the output. You try to find out the output from them by using the pattern or structure in the data. So in the supervised data, you find out the predictability by output from the input. So for example, you have given the data of a student, their marks and their college name and the other curricular activity, and beside and the output is their packages. So you can find out if you have given the some, so there is a linear regression between them. So someone have the 50% of percentage, he has the 3 lakh package. Someone have the 8 lakh 80% of percentage, then he has 10 lakh or 9 lakh of package. So this is the linearity between the percent and the package. So you can say that. But when we talk about the unsupervised data, there is a data that there you have to find out the pattern structure. For that, you use the k-mean hierarchical clustering or PCA. So you are trying to get the customer segment or anomaly detection. So segmentation basically, so for example, Zudio. So Zudio want to get their store into your division or your district, and they want to know what is their buying habit of the customer, and where the changes or the people are in the district. They are going to buy the more clothes from the Zudio. So they do the survey by using the clustering or segmenting the customer, and based on that data, they build a store beside those customer only. So this is the segmentation work. Anomaly detection is nothing but the outlier, to find out the outlier in the data. Now, confusion matrix or model evaluation. For regression and for classification model, there are two different matrix, and you should know what are the matrix you are using, because when you build a model, you should know which uh, matrix is more important for our model, for the data, for your prediction, so that you should know. Then so here is the key matrix is accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. When we what use is important. So you have a data of spam calls. So when we have a spam data, we should know that precision very important that time. But when we have a health care related data, so the data related to cancer, and where the false negative is very costly, because someone is not detected as a cancer, but we as a model, it is given the false negative to that customer, it will be very costly. So it will be in a panic mode. So that time you should be remember accuracy when you have the balanced data, F1 score when you want both to be balanced. Okay. Then the bias variance trade-off. Bias is nothing but the noise in your data, error from the incorrect assumption. We can say that high bias model is the overfit and oversimplified and underfit data. For example, linear regression on the non-linear data, poor performance on the both and training and testing data. So variance is error from too much sensitivity of the data. So for example, too complex variance model are too complex, overfit data, right? So what we want is the we want to get the sweet spot where variance is also low and the bias is also low. To find out that sweet spot, we use some techniques to get that. So the solution is like increase the data when reduce the variance, feature selection regularization technique like L1 L2. You should know what are the techniques, what are the formulas, why we use L1 and what time we use L1 and what time we use L2. So what are the ensemble method and which ensemble method work with the good with when we have overfit data or we have complex data. So that should you know. Then the NLP and transformer model. So NLP in the tokenization, what is the tokenization? So basically tokenization is nothing but you have given the word, and that word is token into split into the tokens. That is the tokenization basically. So you have given the sentence, you cut it down into the tokens. That is tokenization. Embedding is representation of that word into the integer format, because our computer don't understand the word, it understands 0101. So that is the conversion. Transformer architecture. So basically the new models like ChatGPT, Gemini, Llama, whatever, they are built on the transformer architecture. And so the BART is nothing but a Gemini that is built on the BART architecture, GPT model that is built on that. Now, RAG is retrieval augmentation generation. It is a system of retrieving data, augmenting and generating the output. The fine-tuning language model. So you should understanding what is the fine-tuning, when we use the fine-tuning. If you have given the data, if you have given the model, and what are the parameter you choose to change to get the fine-tune that model. So this is the big list of data, but you should understand each and every concept. You should know when to use, where to use, what are the technology, and whatnot. So MLOps and models. So now MLOps life cycle. Basically, when I work as a data scientist, I never did the deployment. But when we talk about the MLOps, now the people are looking for more skill in one engineer. So you should be understanding the data collection, pre-processing, feature engineering, model training and validation, module registry, versioning, deployment, Docker, AWS tools, or like cloud platforms, monitoring and retaining, A/B testing. So everything you should know when we talk about the pipelining of the data science. Okay. Then the prompt engineering and generative AI. So it is not required for data science perspective, but if you are looking for AI engineer or the profile where generative AI knowledge is required, then you should know the prompt engineering, clear specific prompt, few shot learning, chain of thought prompting, temperature, top K. These are the basic requirements when we talk about the prompt engineering. Then retrieve RAG. What is a RAG? RAG is nothing but retrieving the relevant document. So you have the document, you have a PDF document somewhere you have stored into the knowledge base. Knowledge base is nothing but embedding that and there are some tools called Pinecone, ChromaDB, then internal memory storage that you have used, and you store the embedding over there, and retrieval part is doing just extracting the information related to query. Okay, after that feeding to the LLM to generate the answer. So LLM is nothing but a logical model that we use, basically the model like a llama. So if you are using the foundation model from AWS, that logical model generate answer, and the combination of search and generation is called the augmented generation, so basically RAG. Now, project discussion and technical deep dive. So project related discussion is very important. When we talk about the project, that interviewer got to know that you have worked on different domain or the domain they are requiring. So basically, when you are applying for a company, you should know what client you are applying. Try to ask them who is the client. If the client is the banking and finance service, you should approach with the, if you have a project ready that you have work on, try to explain that. If you work on the process technology, if you work on IoT data and the client is in the IoT data, try to explain that project to the client, that interviewer, because interviewer is more interested that he know the concept, he has work on the projects like that, so he can work on. So basically, project discussion is the understanding of the project that you have work on. So try to split into four steps. One is problem statement. What is you are trying to achieve? So for example, here losing the customer due to the end reason, and you try to retrieve them. So retrieving the customer is a problem statement. The customer are losing their interest in the policy, and they want to retain those policy holders. This is the problem statement. You are solving one problem statement. Try to explain that problem statement, and then approach your data and approach where you taken the data, what you have done, what is the feature engineering, what is the engineering you have done. All steps you should mention. What is your approach, different approaches you have used, then the solution and model, what models you have used, what is the evaluation techniques or tools you have used, mention those, and what results you got. Then the business impact. By using this model, you are trying to retrieve the 10%, 20% of customer. This is the big achievement for that company, and you have done that by using that model. So you should explain that, and this is what the interviewer is looking for, that you are able to solve the problem, what are the tools, you have that understanding. So that is basically basic thing. The key lesson from any interview, this is not for this interview, but if you are going for any interview, you should have a communication matter most. Whenever you are explaining the concept, you are explaining the project, you are explaining your logic of Python code, or if you are explaining your logic, explain it into the steps. Try to divide them into the steps, speak it out loud, and it will definitely help you. So your sometimes what happens, you have your logic in your mind, but you are not able to express that. Try to explain your logic, and this is not come like कि आज इंटरव्यू है और आज ही मुझे मेरा लॉजिक समझ में आएगा. You should know कि मैं इस चीज को कैसे एक्सप्लेन करूंगा. एज आई मेंशन कि आप 4 हिस्सों में एक प्रोजेक्ट को बांट सकते हो. यू कैन डिवाइड दैट इनटू द 5 सेगमेंट एंड यू कैन एक्सप्लेन बाय योर वे, बिकॉज आपकी थिंकिंग और मेरी थिंकिंग अलग है. सेम एज दैट, यू शुड नो व्हाट इज योर लॉजिक एंड एक्सप्लेन that to the interviewer. That will help. Preparation beat the panic. So basically, you have the interview tomorrow and you started the day before, you're not able to crack that. The preparation is very important. Take a 10 day of preparation and then go for the interview. I'm not saying कि कल एक ने आपको कल पूछा है कि इंटरव्यू के लिए आप पॉसिबल है क्या. Make sure you said yes. But मैं यही बोलूँगा कि try to prepare your theoretical Python coding or whatever you are weak in. Try to prepare your knowledge. Try to write down what are the topic you have covered, what are the topic are remaining, and try to cover that. Okay, project knowledge is crucial. As I mentioned, interview mindset varies level by level. So when we talk about the interview mindset varies level by level, that means if it is a junior level, they are looking for supporting and want to see the learning from senior role. So they want a junior that learn from the senior person. Okay, and when we talk about the senior should be that person can handle the team, that person can handle the cross functionality of the team, that can go and approach to the stakeholder and try to pitch their problem statement they are trying to solve. Okay, so this is how you solve the big problem when I say any interview. Now this is all about the Tiger Analytics, and I have covered for every single role, and I have covered almost all the problems I have went through, or I have taken from the internet, as well as my experience when I went through the Tiger Analytics interview. So I have added all of them, but I should make you should try for the general problem as well as. Okay, now thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned, subscribe to my channel. It gives me, or it helped me to produce such a content to you. You can follow me on LinkedIn over here, Gaurav Chodia, and I provide a mentorship guide. It is a paid, but that is related to if you're looking, you're a fresher or you're someone who is trying to get into the so basically I am from a core ENTC, and I went to the data science for last 5 years. I'm in the field of data science, AI engineering, generative AI. So I know how I switch from that background to this background, and I have that experience. I can give it to you. I provide the mentorship, and by like I provide you the knowledge I have, the data I have, the knowledge base I have, and how I crack the interview. I'll be there with you till you get the your first job. And yeah, so thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned, like this video, share with someone who need it. Thank you.